Thank you so much. It's very good. Looking into your pitching, you said you got 10 million for refurbishments. I don't know about the area. Has there been any feasibility study into whether this will go down well with the community, and also what is the area like, the population and kind of things? Because spending this a lot of money, I mean, and also you say you got 40-year lease, and 5 acres. That's quite a lot of investment, to make it quite feasible. Has there been any feasibility studies?
The feasibility study, there isn't an actual feasibility study as it is. The Capital Development Panel is working on that feasibility at the moment. It's the reason why we got the team together, the reason why we've been lucky to attract such good people, and they've got the expertise and knowledge to do that. They're involved. The people in the private sector who have been involved in Sheffield City Centre redevelopment and refurbishment, they are property developers. They know how to develop property, and they are building on that expertise. They also have the connections with Sheffield City Council, and Sheffield City Council are really the people that we need to buy into this. We need to get buy into this project. Whether the community want or need it, we're looking at an area of North Sheffield, which is not the most deprived, but it's certainly not the wealthiest areas. The immediate area, which is Highgreen, Chapeltown and Burn Cross, is roughly about 30,000 to 40,000 people, but the area that area is ill-served with community activity. There isn't another development trust that covers the area. There isn't even a tenants association in the area. There's very little in terms of community involvement and engagement. And our Sheffield City Council is now moving towards much more a policy which is towards community engagement and community involvement. We have to aim to be that community anchor, and we have to aim to be the organisation that the community will come to be represented. And we need to do a lot more in terms of reaching communities, which is where I'll be making a big history fund bid for, but that's because we realise at the moment we're very good at managing our building and working with those in the parameters of our own grounds. We need to outreach more to the community. One, to make the whole of the redevelopment a success, but also to become that community anchor.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. The thing I was most interested in, because I do know your site and I've been there a few times, was again about the feasibility and wanting to know what sort of percentage of private businesses to community enterprises you have there. Because you've 14 community enterprises at the moment on their charitable enterprises, and I wasn't aware it was big enough to have that many. Have you got a number of private businesses on top of that?
At the moment we have two very small private businesses.
Yeah, because my reason for asking that, if you're going to put a lot of investment into this to either, I mean initially you said knocking down, but it might be extending or doing various bits of it, is that the feasibility side of it? Are you going to attract any more private businesses, or are you just going to actually be making it a lot cheaper because of the investment you said? I can't see how it's going to be cheaper for the community groups unless you're attracting private businesses that are going to bring in that higher income.
We haven't really marketed building at the moment to private businesses. That's one thing we need to start doing. Our location is excellent in that we're
very near the motorway.
Transport grid links. We've got 3 M1 junctions. The A61, which links Sheffield with Barnsley and Rotherham, and eventually on to Doncaster. We're also equal distance to the centre of Rotherham, Barnsley and Sheffield. So if there's a business who wants to deal with South Yorkshire, we're in a great location. And I think that's what we need to start. Also, the grounds, we're on right on the edge of the green belt, so that there's a countryside. So you're not doing business on by a main road, you're doing business in a green area, green space. So what I want to do and what we need to do is market ourselves and put together a really professional looking brochure so that private businesses want to get involved. And that's why, one of the reasons why we're hoping the Capital Development Panel will be able to assist us in that process.
And just one more, I know one of the very high profile projects there that most people in the whole of South Yorkshire know is the school, with a fantastic reputation. How, you know, with a special needs school, private business, how is that going to be as a combination physically and all the implications that might have?
Yes, it's something that that's a question I've raised. If you talk to the school, they would like more investment in the building and they would like more people to use the building, but then they put restrictions on certain areas. We do have mixed use at the moment. That there are areas which disabled children at 3 o'clock and at 9 o'clock in the morning use as an entry and a way in and out of the building, and then pass other businesses. And at the moment it works fine. I think that's one of the reasons why the redevelopment, if goes ahead, that we would be able to then compartmentalise the building a bit better than we have done at the moment, so that there's a separate entrance.
Or even a separate building? Is there room on the site?
Well, we've got a 5-acre site, so yeah, so the plan would be there'd be a separate building to house the school, and if that's the full refurbishment, the full rebuild happens. If it's refurbishment only, then we will have to manage. That's one of the things we have to manage within the refurbishment in terms of getting people into different parts of the building without compromising child safety and without walking. In the usual sort of way business sort of operates, is that they like to operate in a space, and if somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you've got a parade of children in wheelchairs coming through, that might well cause a problem in terms of talking business and developing. So yeah, as we refurbish and redevelop, then those are considerations will need to be taken into account.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You said that Sheffield City Council have given you a 40-year lease. On what terms have they given you the lease?
We have we've got to pay £30,000 a year to Sheffield City Council. Initially, in the first 5 years, that £30,000 is if we can refurbish or use that money for capital development, then they will take that and they move plan. Okay. We've talked to their community buildings team, and they think that, one, we haven't got a long enough lease of 40 years, and two, they think that we should, this is the council talking about the arrangements we have with the council, that we're paying too much for it. So we're hoping to renegotiate. So there's elements within the council that think that we're paying too much and it's not long enough. I think the principle was, after 10 years on site and asking for this to happen, is we wanted to take it to begin with and then renegotiate later.
How big is the current building? What's the net lettable space of the current building?
Good question. I do know that the figures are, I think it's about 80,000 square feet, 70 to 80,000 square feet, I believe.
Is that gross or net?
That is, that's gross. There's areas at the moment which are unlettable because of the age of the building and they're not suitable for letting, and that's they need. And I think we're talking about 50,000 net.
And what